Okay, hello, good morning. I'm here kind of excited to see if we can get rolling with our API changes. Let's see if they're actually live. And I'm just answering this question on Twitter. Does wrap actions? The state chart does wrap actions. Parallel state charts. I don't actually remember this. It's a long time since I worked on the state charts of Overmind. Let's see, parallel. Nested chart, parallel state charts. Ah, yes. Decision does wrap actions, and the intention is that they are consumed. State chart defining them. Do you have an example? Okay, and we have the release. Oops. Let's see. Oh, I should have closed all my tabs before I started today. Let's see, week planner. Hopefully our type fetching service is working. And we can add Overmind next. And yeah, for some reason, yeah. Overmind React next. Let's see. Oh, there's a new version of update available. Cool. Okay, yeah, so in this session we're going to refactor. I might have forgotten to implement something, but we'll figure that out as we go. We also need to bring back strict mode, but that's something I can do outside of this. So let's see. We have to redefine our machines again. Because now the state machines, let's see, I should get typing errors here. This should not be valid. Did I? Yeah, this is not the latest. Why don't I have the latest? Overmind. Oh. And that one, that's the one I want. Let's see now. Maybe I have to restart the TS server. Because I should get some typing errors here. Because these aren't valid states for... Interesting. Oh, there we go. Let's try to refresh. Let's see, initializing Overmind. Oh, no. are we getting, is the type fetcher full again? I actually implemented a fix for the type fetching service of Codesandbox, but I don't know if it has been merged. And if it hasn't been merged, I'm going to be a little bit upset. Like, it's difficult being a startup and like bringing all the routines together. Like, how do you deal with prioritization of PRs, for example? You have like 10 different repos and so much stuff that needs to be done. How do you ensure that things, like generally everything is prioritized, that you always focused on the most important thing? Let's see, network, let's restart again. Let's see if I have the it's like fly.io. Yeah, there it is. Oh, that's interesting. It's not full now. It's not full, so we should get it. Oh, we are getting, oh, there we are. Yeah, now we're getting it. Weird. Maybe there was a caching issue. Anyways, so we have to go in and we have to change our definitions again. So we need to say current, and this might change. This current word, we'll see. Invalid and current. Oh, maybe I should have done this before the stream. Well, I didn't actually have time for it, so. Adding error, there should be an error here. Okay, like that. Now that's happy. But now we actually create the machine with a single argument, which is kind of nice. So this should require us to have current. What did we start with? I forgot. Invalid, of course. Invalid. And it should keep yelling because we need our base state. It should be here somewhere. Yeah, I'm not sure why it's not popping up. Oh, did I do something wrong on the typing here? Oh, what? I expected 2 arguments. Ah, shit. Did I forget to do that correctly? Oh, that's annoying. That's annoying. I thought I fixed that. Yeah, there's no base here anymore. Oh, did I forget to state machine? Oh, state machine factory. Where are you? Oh shit. Sorry, I forgot to fix that. So basically, let's see. Oh, I see what I did wrong now. That's X. It should be like this. So if base extends never, then we use states, and if not, we use states and base. Okay, that's how it should look. Damn it. Okay, but we'll keep refactoring, and then we can just deploy. It's all going green. Great. Let's see. Git add npm run commit. Consider this a bug fix. Fix typing of state machine factory machine. Hopefully that's just takes a few minutes to release a new version. So can just push this and then we'll just continue refactoring here. So this will be green later on. Yes, and then we have app. Sorry to take you through this. It might be a little bit boring. So current can be home, or it can be add backlog item. Yeah, this is interesting though. So now now we need to move back to this version. And current plan next week. Current edit current week. So we're going to add more states now. As we talked about, the only way to actually change the state now is to run a transition. So this is going to change. And this is also going to be okay when we're done. Cool. And then we have our auth states current authenticating, or we are current unauthenticated, where we might have an error. Yeah, because unauthenticated, I want to call this reason instead, and it's always there. There's a reason why we are unauthenticated. Authenticated, and if we are authenticated, we have these things. Boop. Or we might be in an invalid env. Those are the ones. So what's cool now is that we actually do have callbacks here now that we can use to do dynamic transitions, which is pretty cool. So we're going to explore that as well. And those are introduced because we need to since we can only change state during a transition, we have to be able to move into a transition and directly move back to some other transition, and so on. Let's see. Yes, auth notification. So this is a quick one. Current hide or current show, which also has content string like that. Current hide. I kind of like this, that we only, like we used to deal with 3 arguments here. Now we only have 1 argument. The same is for the transition API. There's not 2 arguments anymore. There's always 1 argument, and it just fits better. Which is why I'm considering changing the name of this current thing. Yeah, we'll look into that later. Okay, so Travis is working on our new thing. So let's deal with our actions. So now we should be able to start to see the effect of the API change. So instead of authenticated here, we actually want to say current authenticated. Right? That's nice. So we're moving into authenticated, and here we actually move into current unauthenticated, and it's called reason now. This is nice. This is nice. So we're doing our transition with our state changes, and then if everything's okay, we are actually running some side effects related to that. And then, yeah, so now we'll move this to, now maybe you see it better. So it's like when you do a transition, it's kind of nice to be able to just transition directly, or at least transition in a way that makes, yeah, current, I don't know, because we can't really call it state, because we already use the concept of state in Overmind for like that the state machine itself is state. Oh, this is nice. So now it wants the reason. And what is this reason? Yeah, like not logged in, something like that. Cool. Let's move on here. We have open home, where we just want to move to home. Oops, what the hell? And yeah, sorry. And now we have the matches thing. So we have to say state matches authenticated. And if it's authenticated, we do have the app. But now I guess it yells at us because it's an expression. This kind of sucks. I guess we can change this. We can remove this because this is an ESLint issue, right? Where is this? Yeah, ESLint. So I think, I'm not sure if I can change this here on Codesandbox. Can I do that? Documentation. Do we have any documentation on linting? Linting. Linking. ESLint. Yeah, embed options. Oh, that's embed. Yeah, no, I'm not sure about that. I might be able to just add like a... Do we have like ESLint? No, we don't have that. That's interesting. Because I really want to allow that. Because it's so clean. Like you just... It even reads like a question. Like you might not like that. You might like it more codey. But I like code to look like sentences. So state matches authenticating, question mark. Then point to app and transition into current home. That's really nice. Oh. Yes. So I'll figure that out later. And again, matches. So this is why I really want matches to return the instance. Because if we were to use the other TypeScript typing, like the this is typing, we wouldn't be able to express our code like this, actually. So current, and I actually really like adding it this way, like not splitting up into two arguments, because now everything's like there. We have add backlog item. It reads better, I think. Yeah, like this is like if the arrow wasn't there, this would read really great. Didn't I create a factory for this? Add backlog item machine. Yeah. This should not be this thing. It should just be... Oh, create add backlog item machine. That's the way it should look. Okay. Let's just try. I think like Codesandbox is pretty smart about this. What's the config for ESLint? ESLint RC. How does it look? ESLint RC turn off rule. Configuring ESLint. I can't remember this stuff. Rules. There we go. Rules. And then we had this thing. Let's see. Override actions. What was it called? No unused expressions. Let's see. We are going to allow that. So No unused, and we set 0 on that, I think. Yeah. Oh, property app. Huh, that's interesting. Let me refresh. Oh, sorry, I used the wrong state. I said authenticating instead of authenticated. Yeah, I have to ask about this linting stuff. Because I really want to... Yeah, no unused expressions. No, like, is this how I do it? Specifying overrides. How do I like say don't? It's 0, right? Oh, maybe I can also do that. But I don't want to do that. Rules off. Okay, let's try to use off instead of 0. Off. Does that help? Huh. No unused expressions. No, I have to ask about this. Anyways, let's move on. Edit current week. Oh, we got a new version ready. Let's get that in here. Did it pop up here? Yay. Overmind. So how are we going to do this? We are going to basically just point state.matches authenticated, and then show for show. And then we have to check again, because we have, like, now we have to transition. Well, let's see, hide. Do we still match authenticated? Then go ahead and yes. So now let's look. Okay, so now we're getting to our first new introduction of state. Because now we're just assigning, but we're not allowed to do that. We need to create a transition for this. So on backlog update, this is going on app state. So let's look at the app machine. So we need to update backlog. That can be the name. Or current is not upload, but update backlog. Okay, so what we need to do here is introduce this update backlog. And basically what we want to do here, the first argument is the payload to update backlog, which is, there's nothing there, so we don't need to check that. And then we get the actual machine, which is kind of basically the state. The only thing we really want to do is to transition back into whatever state we were in, right? So the way I decided to do this is that you actually run a transition in here. And we can say state.current. Oh, sorry. Current, state.current. Oh, yeah. The tricky thing is we don't... Anyways, the reason I chose to do this is because you might, like, these transition states might require a payload. So by only returning, for example, state.current here, which could be valid. Like we could check if there's a string and then we transition into that thing. But the point is that it might require a payload, so you can't just return a string here. So it's better to just do this thing. So we could say that the only way you can actually, let's see, update backlog. So we see here the only way you can go into update backlog is if you're authenticated. So we could explicitly say current is authenticated here. And then it should be happy. Oh, because it needs, oh, God damn it. It needs the user and everything. Yeah, what's the best way to deal with this? Well, maybe it's better to use a string here. Maybe it is. Because now we don't have this logic where the transitions delete state. Like the state is kept there. So maybe it should just be a string. So basically, in this case, you're authenticated, you have a user and everything, and then you move into update backlog. And then you just want to move back to that other state. You're basically just opening up for mutations during the transition, and then it moves back to whatever state it was in. And we're not like messing around with existing state there. So I think that's, yeah, I think that's better. So this should be, yeah, so we could say state current here, for example. So whatever allows you to move into update backlog, it will just move back into that state again. Yeah, that makes a ton of sense. Okay, we need another update here. Okay, so let's see. Where's our typing for? Here it is. So we have the payload and we have our state machine, and here we say it can return a state machine, but we don't want that. We actually want states current. So you can either return undefined, which means, what does that mean? Well, now we don't need, no, it should not be undefined either. So either we return the specific state we want to move back to, we return an array of states, which means that it stays in that state and rather describes, okay, from this point, what other states can you move into, right? Because if it stays in that state, you have to describe, okay, from this point on, where can you move now? Which is expressed by returning an array, which is exactly what the other ones looks like. Or then you can return, well, you can't return a Boolean. You can't really return true. Depending on, like, true could represent moving back to the previous state. Yeah, I think we should have that. Okay, so either you say after this transition, like when this transition runs, move back into this specific state, or stay in the current state and allow transitioning into any of these states. Return true to transition into the state that which word should I use? Transition back into the state before moving into this state. Or false means this is not allowed. Ignore the transition completely. Okay, so where is this logic? It's down here. So what we're doing here is, so we have this current dynamic transition. This is the array of transitions or transition states. So if you're in if you are in a state that returned an array of states, this is what it's going to use. If not, it's going to use whatever is there. And then we're resetting that and we're checking if it's a function. And then we call it, and then we have a dynamic result here. So if there's no dynamic result, it means that no, we should not continue. If type of dynamic result equals string, it means that we actually want to, yeah, how should we do this? We need to check this elsewhere. Okay, so if it's false, it means just return, don't do anything. If it's an array, we want to set this thingy, and then we assign, which is cool. And then if type of dynamic result is a string, we are going to return a new transition, which is that dynamic result. And then we're just going to have an empty object there. Oh, sorry. Current dynamic result. This is perfectly okay, so we won't override any of the existing state. It will still stay there. And then we might also have dynamic result being true. And if that's the case, we want to transition back into the state we were already in. So we need to take care of that as well, because now we have actually changed it. Existing state is this.current, and then current will be existing state. Okay, I think this is going to, I'm sorry if I explained it badly, but I think this is going to be super, super powerful. Cool. Yes, and maybe we can just implement, we need one more thing, which I think I forgot to implement, and that is the possibility to transition with a callback. So the new state might not actually be, so if new state equals function type of, oh yeah, we shouldn't check. Yeah. Oh shit, how do we do this? How do I know, fuck. How do I know what it's going to transition into? If I use a callback there. Ah, god damn it. Oh. Oh, but I can pass in. Ah, shit. This doesn't work. Urgh! Yeah, okay, so the reason is now the API is state transition, and you say current foo, for example. Now the point is that we also want you to allow to express this as a callback, like this, because we want you to be able to yeah, basically do it dynamically, so you can like point to some existing state and do so for example, if you want to, let me show this properly. So if you wanted to move into, like what you wanted to do is say state to do is push to do. That's what you want to do. No pun intended. The problem is that in this scenario, you don't really have any way to express the state you want to move into. So then you would have to like add to do, like have the new state here. But the problem doing that is if you were to now do transition, something like this, it might not be necessary to pass this object, which is like a typing issue. So you don't have, like, sometimes you need 2 arguments, sometimes you don't need 2 arguments, which I don't really like. We could, of course, allow both. So you could pass either an object, or you could transition using 2 arguments. So this is the signature of, I want to transition to a specific state, and I want to use a callback to manipulate that state during the transition. Basically just allow me to, yeah, and then you can also transition simply by doing this. Yeah, I think that makes sense. I think we should do that because it's such pain doing the typing for this stuff. And then we just check the number of arguments, and then we know how to do the transition. Okay, let's try that. So we have this one, and then we have another one, which looks more like state, or I can call it new state, which would be T. And then we have callback, where we have function that receives the state machine in that state. State machine, blah blah blah, extends or undefined. Oh, this is, and then this doesn't return anything. And then it returns a state machine or undefined. Yes, that's it. So we have to implement the possibility to actually do this. So that means that we don't get new state here, we actually get args. And I just do, I think I can do this, can't I? Yeah. So how should we do this? Okay, so const new state equals args.length equals 2, then it's the first argument, or it's arg0 current. Yes, and then we we don't need this stuff, and then we can safely go through the whole shebang. But when we actually assign, we again have to check, is the args length equals 2? If that's the case, we need to call new state with this, and or we just pass new state. Yes, this is the way to do it, I think. And this is because this is where we open up for mutations, and then we lock the mutations again. Yes. Okay, let's write a tiny test for this. Tiny test. Oh yeah, so let's fix this as well. Hopefully it works. So this should just be foo. Yeah, we don't need any arguments. Yeah, this is much better. So hopefully that still works. And then we need to check if we can actually do the other thing that we just implemented. Oh. Which one is this? Oh. Now I totally broke it. Let's see. Should transition state only. What the hell did I do? What did you do? Bar receive foo. Okay, so I did something wrong here. If args.length equals 2, then new state is arg0. If it's not, then it's arg0 current. Why? Oh, sorry. New state. Oh, it should be. Oh. New state. Oh, okay, I see. I see. Yeah, this shouldn't be. Oh, I see. Okay, so new state is now the actual state, like the string, and then this needs to be arg0 instead. Oh, this needs to be args1. Yeah, this is the way it should be. Let's see if it's happy now. Happy. Yeah, this should be new state. Yes. Okay, cool. Sorry about that. Let's see if all of them runs now. Oh, did I copy the one more time? Where is the one that's called should allow dynamic transition? Let's put it in here. This is where I did the, yeah, here you can see. Now I'm moving to bar, and then I'll allow it to move back to foo. That's how I express it, which is super nice. Okay, let's make a copy of this one. Oh shit. Should allow transition from dynamic transition.includes. Okay. Should allow transition from dynamic transition. What did I mess up this time? So what it complains about transition.includes, what the hell is transition? Existing state. Oh, function bar. What did I do? Oh, this is so mind-bending in code. Like it's good in consumption, but it's tricky in code, like under the hood, I mean. What's happening here? So first I'm transitioning to bar. That's good. And then when I'm transitioning to bar, and let's look at the new state as well. Yes. And I'm looking at, okay, so I'm moving to yeah, so I'm looking at the current transition, and it allows me to move to bar, and I want to move to bar, and that works. And then I'm looking at the current, and this is dynamic, but for some reason it type of why. So, and then it checks if this new one is a function, which it is, and that should return Dynamic result. What the hell is this dynamic result? That's foo. How the hell did this pop up? But now so now I have a dynamic transition. Oh, sorry. Sorry. So what happens is I got a string now, right? And then I'm returning a transition into this dynamic result, which means that, oh, yes, sorry, I still need to, okay, sorry. Because even if I return a string, I have to check, is this allowed? Can I do this? And basically what I'm saying is I do allow that. So what I think we need to do is just setting this to the dynamic result. So what we're doing is that we are temporarily saying that, okay, you wanted to move to foo from here. That's what we're doing here. We're saying we want to move to foo. And when we express it this way, that is allowed. Like that's what we're expressing. You can move to foo and just move there right away. But to make this piece of logic work, I didn't want to have this map and stuff. I wanted to have like a straightforward implementation because transitions are synchronous. So and it can only be in like one transition state at a time. So I just had this, I have this temporary variable. So if you're in a dynamic transition, we just temporarily set that variable to where can you move from here. So what we're saying, okay, if you return foo, you can move to foo, go ahead and move to foo. That's what we're doing. And it didn't work. Why didn't it work? Foo. Because now it should have picked it up here. So transition should now be an array with foo in it. Oh, sorry. Sorry. Yes, and we basically need to do the same thing here. Existing state. And this is dynamic result. Sorry. So again, if we return true, we say that we are allowed to move back to the existing state. And then we actually do that. There we go. There we go. Again, this is like, technically, I wanted to make it simple, not simple, like performant or use as little code as possible under the hood. So it's kind of confusing how it works. I have even confused myself. Anyways. So now we are allowed to do that. And what did we want to, let's test the rest of it. So now we're moving to, oh, we wanted to the callback thingy. But let's test the other one. From should allow back transition. So if we just use true here, we should have the same behavior. We should move right back to foo. And we're already testing false. Cool, that's working. And then we want to, should allow using callback for transition. So in this case, we have a foo state, which has a foo string. Or maybe we should just do bar string, something like that. And we want to move to, let's see if the typing is working here. bar, and now it expects a callback. And this should have like the, let's just write state. Bar should now be, and it's typed correctly, which is nice, and bar 2. So now we can check state current to be bar, and we also want to check bar to be bar 2. Matches bar. Cool. And this should also be allowed. Yeah, let's just run this. I think this is enough. Maybe we need some more tests here, but oh yeah, sorry, it moved back. Let's just stick around here. We don't need this dynamic thing. Let's just move to bar, because I moved back to foo now, so like it made sense. Oh, receive foo should allow using callback. That's weird. So I'm in foo. I want to transition to bar. I'm doing that. The current should now be bar, but it's not. Okay, so we're doing something wrong here. Something is wrong. What could that be? So we grab the new state. So if the argument length is 2, it should be arg0. That should be good. And then we blah, 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 blah. Oh, yes, I see what's wrong. So if arguments... oh yeah, we shouldn't call this. Like, okay, we have to do it like this instead. If arguments length is 2, this is of course wrong. So if it's 2, we just want to call it to allow it to change the state. And I think we should yes, we should say this current equals args or new state. And then we call the callback to do the rest of the state changes. And then if that's not the case, we're just going to merge it in. Like we only call the callbacks. We didn't actually change the transition state. We only changed the variable. Cool. Now we should be good. Nice. Git and npm run commit. I have to get to do some work. I got some exciting new features for Codesandbox. Excited to get that released. Allow callback, transition callback. Let's push that. And then I guess, yeah, so what we can do here now, we can just say true, right? Want to update backlog, and we just want to move straight back to where we came from. Nice. Yeah, I wonder how we can, I wonder if, it's kind of interesting. I'm wondering if I'm going to write the documentation for these state machines. Yeah, because now we can say, this is kind of interesting, authenticated. No, we can't really do that, can we? Is there any way to express this? Because now we kind of have profile here, but yeah, no, this doesn't make any sense. We have to say off state. We have to do it like this. That's perfectly okay. What was I saying? I don't remember. Anyways, so we'll have to continue on this. I'll figure out the ESLint thing here so we can actually see this running without errors. And then, yeah, so let's write this out, how this is going to look like. So basically, instead of doing all of this, we're just going to try to run the transition now. So we are going to say state matches authenticated app transition, and now we're going to use okay. Well, what did we call it? Update backlog, and then we'll get app state here, object assign app state backlog items. That's how we're going to express it, and it's going to look nice when we get the thing in there. Oh, kind of annoying that Prettier doesn't put a question mark behind there. I wonder why it doesn't do that. It fits better. Like, that's what you're asking. Is this thing here? Like, is the result of this, or this property, is this property here? You're not asking like, yeah, that's kind of weird why they chose that. Anyways, Travis is building. We'll have to get back to this tomorrow, but then we should be done. And what I'm kind of, so personally, I'm really happy about how this is working out. I'm kind of curious about how will this API affect the components. So we'll see how that works out. But yeah, this should be pretty nice. Let's see. Yeah, and basically this is not about reducing the amount of code. It's days. It's about expressing your intention. So what we want to do is that we want to update the backlog. But to update the backlog, we have to ensure that we're authenticated. And then we go and update. Oh, sorry. Update days. So we'll have to add that as well. Where is our... Oh. Where is our update backlog? Did I add it to the wrong thing? Oh, sorry, I added it to auth. My bad. My bad. This should be an app. So when we're in, is it? Where am I transitioning this? Am I transitioning it? Yeah, I'm transitioning it on the days. So basically, from home, we can update the backlog from this thing. Yeah, so we can update the backlog at any point. That's allowed. And then update backlog basically just returns true. And update days. Where are we using this? update days. I guess this can also happen at any point. Yeah, it doesn't really matter where we're doing that. We can do that wherever. Cool. Anyways, so now we have explicit states for actually doing using a transition to update the state, and then when it's done, it just moves back to whatever state. So if we were on plan next week and we have update days, we move into update days, it updates the days and immediately moves back to plan next week. So in terms of UI and stuff, nothing happens because Overmind batches mutations. So synchronous mutations are not flushed. So I think this actually with MobX, this will be really tricky to do because MobX doesn't have a concept of batching mutations. You have to explicitly do that. So when you kind of moved into update backlog, the whole UI might break, and then you move back into the other one, and then it's okay again, which is interesting. Interesting. Anyways, let's save this and let's quit the stream, and I'll hopefully see you tomorrow, and we'll get this stuff done and do a final evaluation of the state machine API. Yes. Cool. Bye for now.